Finally, we're back to Takuma Shoten and their Famicom discs. These 6 releases kind of dominate the very end of the disk system's life, and they're a bit unusual. Since it's been 11 episodes since I talked about this in the first disc, Famicom was Japan's #2 video game magazine. One of their regular features was a comic starring the Famicom Disk System's mascot. That comic actually outlives the disk system. As part of that comic, they held a contest for game design concepts. The 2 winners would have their concepts turned into actual Famicom Disk System games. The 2 winners were games that had actually already been published once in MSX Fan magazine. The authors wrote the games in BASIC and submitted them as listings to the magazine. The first of these was Hong Kong, which got a physical release to store shelves and bombed incredibly hard. So the rest of the Famicom discs got released to the disc rewriter kiosk. Basically, vending machines in stores where you could take your old floppies in and get new games written to them. I'm not sure why it took an additional 7 months to get Panic Space into stores, but by this point the next contest in Famicom was already on, and we're going to see the winners of that contest pretty soon. Just so there's no confusion, I should point out that Panic Space has nothing to do with the 1980 arcade game Space Panic. It's just a strange choice of title. There are 2 different game modes in Panic Space: Game Mode and Puzzle Mode. In both of them, you're attempting to clear the same set of 50 puzzles. The Puzzle Mode increases the difficulty by forcing you to do additional actions and removing power-ups. On the other hand, in Game Mode, you're operating on a timer. You get points based on the timer when you clear the stage, but it doesn't really matter. When you start the game, you're prompted to enter your name into one of 5 slots, but nothing is saved to the disk. So you'll have to clear all 50 puzzles in one sitting, and I don't even know why there's multiple slots. The ultimate goal on every stage is to have the laser shoot the exit door, and then move into it. If you're playing on Puzzle Mode, you also have to completely clear the stage of meteors. They're the blue blobs that I think look more like clouds than anything else. You clear the meteors by shooting them with the laser. Panic Space is a Sokobon-style puzzle game where you have the ability to push, but not pull, most objects. So you can shove blocks around and mirrors, and that's how you reposition the beam to open the exit. Although you're solid enough to push things around, you don't block the beam yourself. You just pass right through it. So, pretty easy, right? You move blocks, reflect the beam around, open the exit, you win. There is, however, a complication. If the beam strikes any of the immovable green outer walls, or it strikes a pink brick with an X in it, there's an explosion that destroys the level. You lose a life, and you have to start all over again. You have 5 lives, but they don't really matter. And that's because you can hit select to go back to the main menu, and then select your slot to start again, right from where you left off with 5 lives. It doesn't even reset your score. The explosion also occurs if a laser shoots the laser emitter. In terms of puzzles, what this comes down to is always making sure the laser is blocked by something until you can get it to the exit. It might be a pink block, it might be the backside of a mirror, you just have to block it. When it comes to pushing objects around, standard Sokobon rules apply. You push things by running into them, and they have to have an open space behind them for you to push the object into. Something useful to keep in mind is that you can walk on the meteor squares, though you can't push anything onto them. If you're playing in game mode, sometimes you'll find items lying around the stage. These are always found in random locations. What item you have cycles every second. There's a clock that stops the timer, a bomb that will destroy blocks, and a swirly thing that will block the laser for a short time. By far the most useful of these power-ups is the bomb, because in a lot of stages the challenge is figuring out how to get around something. Picking up bombs trivializes a lot of the game. To use an item, you hit B, select it at the top of the screen, and then press A. If you're playing in puzzle mode, you can press A to rewind your actions one step. so not the most useful of undo features. Every 10 stages, you get a little cutaway of a spaceship, and if you beat the game, then you find out that you were trying to repair it. That's the kind of plot that you only get if you pay the extra 100 yen for the sheet of instructions. If you get through all 50 puzzles and want more, there's an edit mode allowing you to create your own puzzles so you can share them with your friends. Naturally, as a 1990 Famicom Disk System game, Panic Space is not well known in Japan. And when I say not well known, I managed to find 2 people who'd mentioned playing it. If you're watching this video about 12 hours after it came out, congratulations, you're watching the most popular Panic Space video on the internet. Yeah, scroll down and look at how many viewers it has. That is how obscure and unpopular Panic Space is. My own feelings on Panic Space are... I wish I liked it more than I do. I generally enjoy puzzle games, and Panic Space turned me off in a lot of ways. Some of it is because it feels really rough. It still feels like a game running in BASIC. It's slow and unresponsive at some points, the puzzle design isn't very good, and the items let you break a lot of the puzzles. There are so many better options for puzzle games out there, including block-pushing puzzle games. Panic Space just is not worth the effort of tracking down.